If I were still an atheist, this one line of evidence would convince me that God exists. Virtually every scientist in the world now believes the universe began at some point in the past.
That the universe is not eternal.
It's not eternal. It has not always existed. Alexander Volinkin, the head of the Cosmology Institute at Tufts University, said the proof is now in place that the universe had a beginning. Well, that makes a strong argument for God, because whatever begins to exist has a cause. We now know the universe began to exist. Therefore, there must be a cause behind the universe. Well, then you ask the question, what kind of a cause could bring a universe into existence? It must be transcendent, because it existed apart from the creation. It must be timeless or eternal, because it existed before physical time came into being. It must be immaterial or spirit, because it existed before the physical world was created. It must be powerful, given the immensity of the creation event. It must be smart, given the precision of the creation event. It must be caring, because he created such a wonderful habitat for us to exist in. It must be personal, because he had to make the decision to create. And then the scientific principle of Occam's razor tells us there would be just one creator. Well, wait a second. Transcendent, spirit, eternal, powerful, smart, loving, unique. That's a description of the God of the Bible. I personally, anyway, would come to the conclusion there is a divine creator.
First of all, evolution comes from someone who was a member of the Round Table.
What can you tell that to everybody?
Someone, without going into too much details, those who know what the Round Table is and where it came from, they will see someone who was a non-believer in God, an atheist who was deliberately trying their hardest to brainwash people and take humanity away from the concept of this divine God who is the reason for the existence of this universe and life in general. So that's one. Secondly, let's say everything came into existence because something exploded over 13 billion years ago. I just wonder who was present 13 billion years ago? Was it that scientist or his uncle or his grandpa? In the scientific field, if it's a theory, I'm not obligated to accept it and believe in it, therefore don't force it on me. It's a theory. So even the one who wrote it, he said, I think it's this. Well, you think, I don't have to accept it. So a theory is a theory. Leave it to yourself. Don't teach it at university levels, and don't brainwash all these beautiful young men and women and take them away from God. How dare you do this? But again, the educational system is infiltrated. So as the religious sector, so as the entertainment, and so on. Now, if we assume that all this perfect and complex universe came into this because something exploded, then let me put it to you this way, my dear friend, whoever you are. And I'll say, you're my friend, because I mean it. If I say to you as an intellectual individual that the Oxford Dictionary came into this perfection and complexity because something exploded in the printing press, would you accept that? You'll say that is absurd. It's impossible. The moment you think of the Oxford Dictionary, immediately you think of a brain behind it that put it together. An intelligent being that put this dictionary together. If the Oxford Dictionary did not come into existence unless there was a brain behind it, how much more this complex universe? So you're telling me the Oxford Dictionary cannot exist without a brain, but the universe existed without a creator. That is impossible. Logically speaking, it is absolutely illogical. Doesn't make any sense. So, let me tell you, even though I'm not a scientist, so I don't want to be one, I'm a little poor, a believer in Jesus Christ. I walk through His grave by His grace, and I ask Him for His mercy. But let me say one thing about the human DNA. Just one thing about the human being. The human DNA is made out of 3.1 billion bits of information. 3.1 billion bits of information. If I were to convert that into words and write those words on an A4 sized paper, 500 words per page, it would take me 600,000 pages to write one person's DNA. You bring the entire encyclopedias of the world together, they will get nowhere near the intelligence in your DNA, my dear friend. And you're telling me you want me to believe in a Big Bang? And yet, there's almost 8 billion people live on the face of this planet as we speak. But no one's fingerprint is the same as the other.
Right.
That's not a fluke.
Right.
That is a deliberate and intelligent creation by this intelligent being whom we as Christians believe and claim to be.